Hi, welcome back to the last video on the derivation of the standard deviation formula. In the last video, we left off with the intuitive understanding of the standard deviation, how we started from a graph, and then we came up with a formula, right, for standard deviation. All right. So today I'm going to bring you from the intuitive formula to the non-intuitive formula, the one you're expected to know, the one that's in your textbook, the one that's in your notes. Okay, I'm going to attempt to build a bridge so that you can get from where we were to where you want to be. Okay, so before that, just a quick tip on this video. Now, it is going to be a bit complicated, right? You may not understand it the first time. So what I will suggest that you do is to just pause and replay and watch again. Right? That's the purpose of a video anyway, for you to watch again and again. You may not understand it the first time, but after watching a few times, I'm sure you'll get it. Okay? So with that aside, let's start the derivation process. So before I can build a bridge connecting the two sides, yes, first I need to be using the same kind of notation as the non-intuitive one. After all, this is a subject of mathematics. We should be using mathematical notations and symbols. Okay? So converting the formula on top into something with more mathematical symbols and notation. Square root is fine. It's what we use in mathematics. Summation is also fine. Right, let's look at the things inside the bracket. What is each value? Each value is every single measurement, every piece of data. And we usually represent that with a variable x. X can take on many different values. It can be data number 1, data number 2, data number 3, so on and so forth. So each value is going to be substituted with x. Next, we look at mean. Do you still remember what is the short form for mean? It is x bar. X bar. So we're going to minus x bar. And close the bracket. And then we're going to square the whole thing and divide it by the number of values. Okay, there is one letter that we like to use for number of values, and that is n. So that will be changed to n. Okay, so this is what I'm going to start with. Yes, this is our intuitive formula. And I'm going to bring you to here, number 2. Right, the one you see in your textbook. Okay, so let's go. Right. Starting from here, if you look inside, right, the square root sign, we have this. Something that looks like this, a minus b squared. We can expand that. Yes, that will give you a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And that is exactly what we get, expanding it out. All right? You have x squared minus 2x, x bar, plus x bar squared. And the next thing I'm going to do is that you see there are 3 terms inside the bracket. I'm going to write them separately as 3 fractions. 3 separate fractions. So, right, here you go. X squared, summation of x squared over n, minus summation of 2x, x bar over n, plus summation of x bar squared over n. Now, starting from the first fraction over here, this is the first one, yeah? I'm not going to touch it. You know why? It actually looks very similar to our final formula in the textbook. Let me just quickly flash over here. Can you see? The final formula, we already have this. And this is what I want. I'm going to leave it. Yes? We don't do anything to the first fraction. Let's look at the second fraction. Now, if you recall in the first video, we can take constants out of the summation sign. So let's look at this one, yeah? 2x x bar, summation of 2x x bar over n. What are the constants in the numerator? We have the constant 2. There's also one more constant, and that is x bar. The average does not change, right? The average does not change. It is actually a constant, right? X is a variable, but x bar is a constant. So please take note of that. And I can write this as summation of, write the constants first, 2x bar, and then summation of x divided by n. Let me write that a bit more neatly. Summation of x over n. Right? And I've purposely written my n more to the right side. So you can see that we actually have summation of x over n. That is actually our x bar. So this is 2x bar times x bar. And this gives us 2x bar squared. 2x bar squared. Right? Maybe I should write a bracket here so it becomes a bit more clear. 2 times of x bar squared. Okay, that is what's going to happen to our second term, second fraction. Now looking at the last fraction over here. Okay, this is also interesting because if you think about it, what am I doing when I sum up x bar squared? I'm adding x bar. X bar, by the way, is a constant, right? I'm adding a constant plus a constant plus a constant plus a constant. Okay, let me give you a very simple example of adding up constants. Say if I sum up 1, what does it mean? I'm going to add up 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, how many times? Depending on how many pieces of data I have. Say if I have n pieces of data, I'm going to sum it up n times, and that's going to give me n times of that constant. So I have x bar inside here, I'm summing it up, then I'll get n times of x bar squared. So looking at the next step, you can see that I'll have n times of x bar squared. That's what happens when you sum a constant. Okay, and if you look at the second one, right, it's no longer a fraction, it's now 2x bar squared. We leave the first one alone. Okay, and looking at the last one, nx bar squared over n, we can divide by n. This gives me just a positive x bar squared. So negative 2x bar squared, positive x bar squared. That just leaves me with a negative x bar squared. Negative x bar squared. Right? And I'm going to re-express my x bar into the long form. That is summation of x over n. So this is square, this is also a square. Okay? And this is the final form of the standard deviation formula you see in your textbook. Right? Summation of x squared over n minus summation of x over n, which is the mean squared. Yeah? So don't worry once again if you don't get it. You can just rewind and watch the parts of the video you're not too sure. Okay? If you still have any more questions, you can try and reach out to me. I'll try to answer your questions as soon as possible. Right? With that, this is the end of the video series. I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to share this video with your friends if you think they might need some help on standard deviation. And also, yeah, let me know how you feel or what you think of the videos. So, until the next video or the next time, see you guys.